Welcome to Online Business Education with your host, Bob Caspi. This module is about the creation of a partnership to help you grow your business. Let's begin with the assumption that you have an asset, like an invention. But the concept would work regardless of the specific asset that you might have. And let's assume that you want to grow your business. In my example, let's assume that you need capital to grow so that you can develop distribution and build brand equity for your potential clients. Essentially, you're missing some of the key components of a fully functioning business. One way to instantly add those missing pieces would be for you to find a partner, again, in this case, one who had cash, brand equity, and distribution, and then essentially make a deal with that partner where together what you're saying is, with your brand equity, with your cash, and with your distribution, and with my product, or essentially my IP, we can make money together. Let's share the profit. The reasons are many to do this. First, it reduces your risk, since there's a lot of risk in developing distribution and sales. But more importantly, it decreases your time to market. And we are living in a time when innovations are happening faster and faster, and there is less and less time to build revenue from any one idea. As well, avoiding raising capital avoids diluting your ownership and leaves you in charge of your own business. So then the next question is how to find a partner. Well, it's all about the end customer. Your partner already serves your end customer. So examining your end customer's purchase history can help point to the right potential partner. But here's the trick. It's not about the added profit from selling your product that will entice a partner to engage with you. It's only about whether having control of your product will enable the partner to sell more of their own product. Your potential partner is full of employees who want nothing more than to increase the sales of their current products. And if your technology can give them an edge and enable them to achieve their existing goal of increasing their own market penetration, then you have something valuable, and they might be willing to share their brand equity, their distribution capability, and their cash with you. Let's look at an example to better understand how this works. eCurve is a company that designed and patented a device and software that reduces the cost of electricity for certain applications. They do so by measuring the instantaneous current at a piece of equipment and then controlling the cycling of that piece of equipment in real time. The way this actually works is that a utility charge is partially based upon your peak usage for a month. So if we can slightly reduce the peak through clever control of the device, we can then reduce your cost for the month. And that's what the software does. The founder of the company used to work for AT&T, and he knew that 2% of all electricity in the U.S. is used by cell towers. That alone is a staggering fact. And half of that usage is from the air conditioning equipment inside each tower that keeps the radios cool. He calculated that AT&T has 40,000 towers and could save $40 million a year with eCurve's technology. So he went to management with his invention and made the first sale. They bought 20. They asked him to place them around the U.S. and test them in live situations for a year. The year went by, and the systems worked perfectly. Each tower reduced its electric bill by $1,000. The founders anticipated a big order would be coming, and they raised some venture capital and started to build a manufacturing facility and bought inventory to get ready. But no order came, and even the venture investors said, "No more money from us." How could this be? Well, the answer is actually fairly simple. If you think about the VP at AT&T who's being asked to make the decision, on the plus side, a yes can lead to a savings of $40 million a year. But on the downside, if he touches every cell tower and they all die as a result, he will no longer have a job. And after all, the $40 million is not his money. As well, management at AT&T has hundreds, if not thousands, of ways to save money every year. They can change their vehicles from gasoline to LP gas. They can add insulation to their buildings. They can change their light bulbs to LEDs. Yet they don't seem to do all of these. Why? Well, again, the answer is fairly simple. If the CEO was known as the one who used capital to save money, but at the same time lost market share, he would be gone. His investment is focused more on obtaining market share through innovation than on savings. So what is eCurve to do? Let's look at the ecosystem. AT&T is a network provider, and they are served by at least 4 major categories of businesses that relate to this ecosystem. Utilities send them electricity. Tower manufacturers sell them towers. Tower maintenance companies perform the service, and AC manufacturers sell them the AC equipment for each tower. Our challenge is to understand the business model for each of the 5 members of this little ecosystem. We must understand what they sell, who they compete with, and most importantly, what the impact would be if they could control our technology. At this point, I need to stop and add an important missing piece of information. When the founders were installing the sample units for test, they did the installation themselves, and in the process they drove to each and every site. And quite interestingly, they noticed that 20% of the sites were having major malfunctions that were undiscovered. Either the original installation was flawed, or something stopped working, but nobody knew about it. And the eCurve equipment, once installed, could tell immediately that something was wrong. So as you look at the 2 summary tables, note that each category has a different potential value and a different landscape of competition. And upon inspection, one of these categories starts to look better than the rest. Tower service providers, for which there are only 2 in the US that handle all of the cell towers for all of the network providers, and who compete in battle for each account, represent a large business with a low barrier of entry, and eCurve's equipment could offer them the ability to radically improve the quality of their service with an innovation that paid for itself with utility savings. One of the 2 major service providers would represent the perfect point of entry into this industry for this innovation. They would make the perfect partner, and exclusivity could make the difference both offensively and defensively in their strategy. So in conclusion, every innovation has the potential ability to impact many different categories of business. You must learn the business model of each constituent in the ecosystem that you're trying to impact and explore the potential value that you can have to each competitor in their ecosystem. Thank you.